The LUAPULA and Western provinces have long been identified as the nation's least developed regions, a paradoxical reality given their bountiful endowment with natural resources. From vast, fish-rich water bodies to untapped mineral reserves, these provinces hold immense wealth beneath their surface and along their shores. Despite this abundance, their contribution to the national gross domestic product has historically remained minimal, leaving their potential largely dormant. However, a significant shift is on the horizon. The government, through the Cabinet Office, has launched a deliberate and strategic intervention aimed at unlocking the economic dynamism of these two provinces. This initiative, known as the Enhancing Productivity Program, is designed to foster sustainable economic activities and transform these regions into hubs of growth. To spearhead this effort, a high-level team from the Cabinet Office, led by Deputy Secretary to Cabinet for Administration, Dr. Oliver Kalabo, embarked on a fact-finding mission to LUAPULA. Represented by Permanent Secretary for Special Duties, Mr. Chama Fumba, the team engaged with various stakeholders, assessed ongoing projects and laid the groundwork for a comprehensive development roadmap.
When we look at LUAPULA province, what we see is a province rich in resources and opportunity. At the same time, we know that many communities continue to face challenges related to market access, infrastructure, financing for enterprises, and limited value addition. The question before us, therefore, is not whether LUAPULA province has potential. The question is, how do we organize ourselves better as government, as private sector, and as communities to unlock that potential in a coordinated way and be able to produce the economic benefits for our people.
The private sector in LUAPULA province sees the opportunity to present their perspectives, articulating the critical interventions required to stimulate economic activity. They called for targeted investments, improved infrastructure, and policy reforms to create a conducive environment for business growth.
For us in the private sector, we can't do without government. We are governments because we sit in these decision makers. And we cannot speak against government because we work together. So we need to find a way of strengthening the chamber, have the capacity to take stock of the private sector. And tell you the Mingalato they do, to evade taxes, not to adhere to some rules. Now, if we are excluded, we are not looked at it from that. How do we now tell you? Because this is our country. This is our country, so we need to see how best from the provincial administration, from the cabinet, every investor comes telling, go and become a member to the chamber.
I want to look at a time whereby, when we are seated here, we are doing corporate evaluation, as LUAPULA to say. We set targets in agriculture. You are in agriculture. Have you hit the targets? If you haven't hit, where is the problem? And fix it. Goal setting should be there as a corporate entity, the whole province. If you can imagine this time there is World Cup. Imagine those goals were not there, players were just playing. It would be chaotic. But when there's a goal, you know where to take the ball. Even at personal level, at provincial level, we need to set goals in all sectors and train the participants, the scholars, you train them in various sectors. Then we'll be able to see clearly how we are moving.
Adding his voice to the dialogue, former LUAPULA Chamber of Commerce and Industry President, Mr. Jonathan Mukabira, emphasized the urgent need for a robust and clear developmental framework. He stressed that a well-defined structure is essential to guide investment, ensure accountability, and guarantee that the province's growth is both inclusive and sustainable.
It is about output. And now, the problem that we have usually is that we are managing the process and not the output. So find that most of the time we spend on the process. We begin with the process and end with the process. We program and end with the program. Without doubt, even from government has brought a lot of policies, very good policies. But you find that some of them, they begin with government, they end also with government. So in the private sector, it's just like an appendix. So that's why we need to look at three major issues. Number one, target setting. Number two, framework. Number three is integration. What do I mean? When we look at target, for example, we have a national target for let's say for tourism, 5 million, let me just give you an example, 5 million arrivals. What's the target for LUAPULA? We have, let's say, we target ourselves 1 million arrivals in LUAPULA, the northern sector of LUAPULA and Kachukun. Then let all the systems speak to that, so that the CEC, when they do the financing, they want to finance certain products that will be able to make us achieve that target. Then number two is the framework. Let's have a framework of access. When we talk of access to finance, we have cost-effective financing system developed by government, like CEC instrument. Yeah, it was an alternative to expensive financing through the private financing. Now the problem we have, we just, okay, there are loans here under CEC. So somebody goes to somebody, writes a very good business plan, go and get the money. It's like we're throwing water and you just probability to say wherever it will fall in the right person. But what we have CEC in the province is to do a stock with the Chamber of Commerce. Let's have let's do the profiling of entrepreneurs that we have in LUAPULA. We have here HADSEC, who is dealing in what? Agriculture. So Zambia Development Agency, can you get an investor that will now partner with what? With HADSEC, so that to develop the fish feeds.
One of the government's key initiatives to nurture entrepreneurship has been the establishment of industrial yards in provinces like LUAPULA. A cabinet team visited the Masa Industrial Yard to evaluate its progress and impact. Currently, 6 companies are operational at the yard, creating jobs and adding value to local produce. Among them is Unimos, a standout enterprise that is now exporting cassava mealie meal to the United States of America, a demonstration of LUAPULA province's capacity for high-value production.
So the maize meal is what you can see here, and the cassava meal is what you can see here. So when you are producing cassava meal, as you can see, it is quite dusty. Yes, so the place is quite dirty because of the
No problem.
So the cassava meal is actually branded as Musamvu. This is the product that goes to the US.
Oh.
Yes, because we have a contract with Musamvu Enterprise in Lusaka, who actually export the cassava meal to the US. So this is the assignments that we are producing currently.
Innovation is also taking root in the agro-processing sector. Another company at the yard has ventured into food preservation, processing local fruits such as mangoes and bananas to extend their shelf life and reduce post-harvest losses, thereby creating new revenue streams for local farmers.
Shimiri mwesha isakuno nga mu province bali tusalapo bebatinga bomba nga bamwe abino kwati kuti kwa mwamune ko bukumu muli abantu. So ekyo twasangirwa kuno. So nekyo twasangirwa kuno tukalapanga tukalawamika ama fruits, ama mangoes, ama bananas, ama pineapples, avocado, ama fruits yonse ayenga bokumika tukalawumika muno n'obushani n'okulabika mu package ez'okulashitisha. So ekyo batusalirire n'okutubeera no business.
Permanent Secretary Chamafumba, representing Dr. Oliver Kalabo, expressed his satisfaction with the progress at the Masa Industrial Yard. However, he issued a call to action, urging more entrepreneurs in Masa to take advantage of this facility. He also emphasized that the yard is a launchpad for business success and that greater utilization will accelerate the province's industrial growth.
Our visits today to the industrial yard is to see how many of our people have responded to the call for Zambians to get involved in the business, in the developing of the economics of our country. And what we saw there is somewhat bittersweet. So there are those that have responded like Mr. Chongo. And you see how they are taking advantage of the needs of the province, and they are responding by obviously investing, starting up their enterprises, creating opportunities for the people within the province, but also feeding the communities. The bitter side of things is that we can do better. We hope that we will see more people responding. Government has invested the equipment in establishing the yard. Government has developed and come up with a lot of instruments that could help, that could motivate our people to respond. If it was a foreign investor who came and just called for people to ask for, to employ them, I'm sure many people will have responded. But now we are asking our people, we are asking Zambians, we are asking people in the province to take the responsibility and employ, start a business, and create those job opportunities for ourselves.
LUAPULA has long been renowned for its abundant fish stocks, a legacy the government is keen to modernize. The cabinet team visited private companies specializing in fish fingerling production to understand their operations and potential for scaling up.
As a Department of Fisheries, we are happy now that we have private players who have come on board to support the farmers of fingerlings. Because one of the challenges that our farmers have been facing was also source of fingerlings in the province. So through government interventions, empowerment programs, this is how come hatcheries like Unimos came up. Currently, because we are promoting fish cage culture in the province, so that has pushed the demand of fingerlings, an annual demand of fingerlings to about 1.8 million. That is what we require to be secure as a province. So right now, we have 3 hatcheries, Unimos, we also have Todaraba and the Hopeways Fish Hatchery. So these are the 3 private hatcheries that we have that are complementing the 2 government-run hatcheries. So the 5 are currently producing just slightly above 1 million fingerlings, but with more effort from hatcheries like these, we are assured that this year we should be able to reach the 1.8 million mark. But speaking as a Department of Fisheries, where we are, I think as a province we are secure and we are able to meet the farmers' demands.
Firms such as Unimos and Hopeways are at the forefront of this sector, collectively producing approximately 2 million fingerlings annually. This vital supply chain supports the province's aquaculture industry and ensures the sustainability of its fisheries.
We're producing Monochromis macrocha fingerlings. So the background here is that we are producing fish at the farm. So we had challenges with the fingerlings. So there now we applied for a loan facility through the Office of the Fisheries Department through CEC, and we are supported with this facility. Yes, so we are able to put up this facility. It's unfortunate that this time around we have closed production. We have separated males, they are alone, the females are alone, meaning that we are opening next month, after next month, that is August. So currently, we are now able to produce fingerlings to LUAPULA province.
Us to produce 1.5 million per year. Yes, so the per cycle, now that focus we have just achieved to go up to 450 fingerling per year. Then, yeah, 150,000 because of brood stock. That quality we are talking about. Then per month, the correction, we can only correct maybe 10,000 fingerlings of fry corrections. Then those we are doing both egg correction and fry correction. So we are doing almost 4 types of hatchery. The pond-based, the upper, the indoor. So now we have seen that the indoor was not there. This is when we are now coming up and we can see changes that I think this is the way. The pond-based system was By then it was like professional, but now we have discovered it's not.
On the public sector front, the government has invested in an aquaculture park in Zamfia designed to promote modern fish farming techniques. This facility serves as a training and production hub, equipping local farmers with the skills and resources needed to thrive in the industry.
To operationalize the facility, the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock entered into an MOU, the Zambia National Service. That's why you have seen Captain Mpondo there, so that we jointly operationalize this facility. So the stocked cages that you are seeing, the stocked fish ponds that you are seeing, is part of those plans to make this facility operational, because the parent stock that we are keeping here, they will end up supporting the fish hatchery that we have that side. So the plans is to produce about 1 million fingerlings per year, so that we support the aquaculture farmers that we have around in Zamfia, Chifunabuli and beyond. So what we talked about in Wansa, as the Department of Fisheries is actively supporting fish cage culture as an alternative to capture fisheries. That is why through interventions like the CEC, we have cooperatives there, about 10 of them. And the PS, some of them, they are here, the owners of the cages, so that you may have an opportunity to interact with them. So that is where we are.
Going a step further, the government has empowered local cooperatives to venture into cage fish farming. Currently, 40 cages have been deployed on Lake Chinweshiba, representing a significant leap towards commercial aquaculture. This initiative is expected to boost fish production, create employment and enhance food security in the region.
This is a union that is an overseer of all the 10 cooperatives that have been funded at Lake Chinweshiba. Each cooperative has been funded with 4 cages, which will stock 15,000 in each cage, totaling 60,000 per cooperative. So far here we have 40 cages, and we've stocked at least 1/3 of the cages, which is 200,000 fish. Our aim is to stock 600,000 for the 10 cooperative. Each one will be stocking 60,000, but we had to stop stocking because of the season, and we'll be restocking after July, towards the end of this month and beginning of next month, once the weather heats up a little bit.
This is what it means when government says taking development to the people. Remember, the actual development must manifest itself amongst the people. What you see here is government intervention, government getting development to the people, government empowering communities. We've been told that there are about 10 cooperatives that are working here with over 400 members operating this particular facility. And once this is done, once they've sold their fish, you expect their economics to improve at home, but also within their community. And this is what we are saying as government. Let our people get involved in the business. Let our people get entrepreneurial. Let our people get to run the economics of their communities, the economics of their country. That's a commitment of government. That's a commitment of the president.
In Kaombo district, the cabinet team inspected significant private sector investments. Key stops included the Kawambwa sugar plantation and the Nova Avocado, a booming enterprise that highlights the diverse agricultural potential of the area.
We have a white tree paint that we paint the trees inside to protect them from the sunburn, because now all of a sudden the tree is exposed to sun, so we paint it white. We have got 4 divisions, so each division consists of 275 hectares. So we've planted now 3 divisions. I think there's 20 hectares short of the last division that we will plant in the next 2 weeks. So 825 is already being established. The last 275 we are busy doing land prep. So by next year this time we will be done.
We visited Nova Avocado Estate, and what you see there is the is the potential coming to bringing value. The potential that had been there, which most of us didn't see, but we see it bringing the actual value to the province and creating and realizing the opportunities, both business but also job opportunities for our people. We hope to see this replicated across the country, and this is a testament to the President's commitment to delivering development. Where Nova Avocado Estate is way far from what most of us could consider normal distance. But development is being taken there, and a lot of our young people are getting jobs and getting empowered from such an investment.
The team also journeyed to Nchelenge district, where they assessed the prospects of reviving the long-dormant rubber plantation. This initiative signals the government's commitment to rejuvenating historic assets and exploring new agricultural frontiers to diversify the province's economic base.
Yes, so once those seedlings they reach that size, like that size, it's already ripe to be transplanted into the polypods like these ones. From here, then we plant them now in the field. Yes. So once they grow, I'm just trying to summarize. Once they grow, maybe up to 5 to 7 years, we are able to tap the raw material for rubber. The raw material for rubber is called latex. This is the liquid. Actually, we can demonstrate how this liquid extracted from the plants, from the trees rather. So this is the liquid for making rubber. So that rubber is able to be processed now into finished products. As you may be aware, rubber has a lot of versatile functions. The tires, you are able to make tires and a whole lot of rubber products, rubber bands, condoms, you name it, a lot of products.
For those of you that may be familiar with our economics, you realize that the economic contribution of LUAPULA province as well as Western province have been lower compared to other provinces. So the government, the President's commitment has been to improve the economic value of all the provinces, but particularly LUAPULA and Western province. What this trip has been about is to understand what is the situation, what are the conditions, what is it that needs to be done to first of all support those that are economically active. What about the entrepreneurs? What is it that they are doing? What is it that we can do as government to support them improve, to facilitate for their growth? What is it that can be done from government's perspective? But also to understand what is it that is possible? What is the potential like? What do we need to do for us to take advantage of the potential, the economic potential that is within the province? So this trip, this visit has been about that.
The team also visited the bulking center for cassava storage and trade while in Nchelenge district.
The farmers bring their produce here, then the marketing union finds the market for them. Then they sell the products on their behalf, and then that's when the farmers receive the payment from the marketing union. There are a lot of challenges that were looked at to think of that actually the concept of bulking, because PS, as you also know that the rural farmers usually have a lot of challenges, such as the transportation costs, where individual farmers sometimes, if they are to take the produce on their own to the markets, it is very, very difficult. Also, when they bulk, they aggregate, it is easier to negotiate with the buyers. So that is the concept, so that the benefits of their energy in producing is felt. That's how this bulking center was actually built.
Mulimo kalamba wa chipe kino kusungiramo obulimi bweso, so that one tabuleonaika, two imishikishe abayizi free of vigade abakushita chakapo izi bafika vepano vachita baya kuchita baenda bafike mumishumo veushi pesa kwava makuruku kutufumine vakesa mizemberekesa kali ya 50 kg vakachita pali 10 kwachi patenga munachitisha pamo kukabakala ka shwara za kumwarashita pamutengo usuma ndeba vini so feni ngamikosa shabako bati tendu chibombe chino echipe tendu bombere pamo tendu chibombe.
In a demonstration of the national significance to this economic revitalization effort, the government's active integration of the private sector into its developmental agenda through the Chamber of Commerce and Industry was evidenced by the involvement of the Western Province Chamber of Commerce and Industry President, who was part of the delegation to LUAPULA. This cross-provincial engagement is indicative of its commitment to the application of a collaborative approach.
What I make of this interaction between the key stakeholders involved in the discussions around enhancing productivity in Western Province and LUAPULA, particularly because these two provinces have been identified to be the lowest performing provinces in terms of our contribution to the GDP of Zambia. I think that it's a step in the right direction because you need a multi-stakeholder approach in order to find solutions that are affecting the population. In this case, I would like to commend Cabinet Office for making this intervention. Particularly, we have heard that it's a directive coming from the President, who has said that these two provinces need to be given special attention in order to alleviate the poverty. It's not only about contributing to GDP, but it's trickling down to the grassroots as well about how the community is surviving on the ground, the number of jobs, the number of people are able to feed themselves, the number of people are able to afford healthcare. That is all coming down to the productivity of a province.
This proactive step by the Cabinet Office through the Enhancing Productivity Program could not have come at a more opportune time. It follows closely on the heels of LUAPULA's recent Expo, a successful event that saw over 10 companies express keen interest in investing within the province, a clear indicator of growing confidence in the region's future.
Kanona, energy and agriculture. Kanona has indicated investment in the energy sector targeting to generate 244 megawatts of power. This investment alone will create 2,000 direct jobs and 4,000 indirect jobs. In agriculture, Kanona will invest a total amount that is currently being finalized. But I can assure you that this will be substantial and life-changing for our local communities. We have already developed a comprehensive 90-day action plan with Kanona, including the establishment of a joint technical working group, due diligence process, site identification and verification, and the drafting of a memorandum of understanding. The memorandum of understanding is scheduled for signing within the next 4 weeks. Meladen Energy, 18 million kwacha investment. Meladen Energy intends to set up service stations in Mansa, Mwenze, Chilenge, and Chenge with an initial investment of 18 million kwacha.
These comprehensive interventions by the government are set to unlock LUAPULA's long-dormant economic potential. With a strategic focus, private sector collaboration, and community involvement, LUAPULA is now on a definitive path towards economic emancipation, well positioned to contribute substantially to the national GDP, a transformation that will ultimately uplift the lives and livelihoods of its people. For now, prosperity is within reach.